everyone. Welcome to our third class for mat yoga for any kind of neck and shoulder discomfort. Remember, when we work through these poses today in this class, they're going to be very shoulder friendly. Most of the movements that we do will be no higher than shoulder height if we're lifting the arms up in a lateral raise. If you do want to take the arms overhead, and if that's comfortable for you, you are always welcome to do so. But we're going to make sure that what we do here can be as shoulder friendly as possible for those of our friends who have concerns in the shoulders. And we're also going to make sure that at the same time we stretch out those muscles of the neck during this practice as well. So let's get started with 2 feet flat on the ground, hips distance apart. And sometimes you might think, well, how far apart is that, Becky? Well, if you find your hip bones, which are about right here, and just head directly south, that's going to be good hips distance apart. It's a very sturdy stance for us. So let's start off by standing up nice and tall, maybe rolling the shoulders back a few times, just opening up the chest, lifting up tall. And let's begin to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, as long as those passageways are clear. And if they're not clear for us today, let's just breathe as comfortably as we can. And then we'll roll those shoulders all the way back and down. Standing tall, let's turn the palms of our hands to face forward. Standing tall here in Tadasana, mountain pose. And let's start to focus on our deep breathing, in through the nose and out through the nose. You're welcome to close your eyes if you'd like. And as we feel each foot firmly connecting to the ground beneath us, we might think about this time on our mat as a way to recharge this body and the mind. So just as we firmly plant our cell phone device onto its charger, let's plant ourselves here down on our own charger, and let's draw energy up from the earth and allow it to fill all parts of the physical body and the mind. As we hear the sound of our healthy breathing, we notice that it might sound like the waves of the ocean as they meet the shoreline, or the wind as it blows through a forest of trees. And as we find our focus there, we allow ourselves to let all other thoughts fade away, bringing ourselves to this present moment, right here, right now. And we remember to breathe throughout each pose rather than holding the breath if a pose becomes challenging for us. And we promise to feel each pose to the best of our own abilities while listening to the body at all times, easing up when needed, and giving ourselves more of a challenge when wanted. Let's take a few more cleansing, centering breaths. Ready, let's slowly open our eyes. Now let's start a little bit of TLC work work for the neck. So on the inhale, let's just inhale with our crown parallel to the sky. And on the exhale, let's gently lower the chin down toward the chest. Now on this next inhale, let's lift the chin to just above parallel. So it's a little bending back of the neck, not too much. And on the exhale, we lower back down. Let's try that again one more time. Let's inhale, gently lifting the chin to just above parallel to the ground. And on the exhale, a little lower down. On the next inhale, let's lift the crown. And on the exhale, a gentle tilt to one side. Inhaling and lifting the crown upright, and a little tilt as we exhale. Gently stretching the neck. One more time on each side, exhaling as we tilt. Inhaling and lifting up. Exhaling and tilting. Inhaling and lifting. Now, let's turn the head as we exhale, looking out over one shoulder. On the inhale, let's come back to the center. On the exhale, we turn again. Inhaling back to the center. One more time on each side, turning as we exhale. Inhaling back to the center. Exhale, turning. Inhaling to the center. Now this time, let's lower the chin on the diagonal toward the inside of one elbow. Inhaling and lifting upright. Exhaling with a chin drop over to the other side. Inhaling and lifting. Exhaling, rolling the shoulders back and down. So let's roll those shoulders back a good handful of times. Now remember, if it's not comfortable to roll the shoulders, you can lift up toward the ears and then lower them back and down. Just trying to warm up through the shoulders here. Now let's take those shoulder rolls forward. Now throughout our practice, I am going to offer lots of different options for the poses. If anything is not feeling good in your neck or shoulders or in any other part of the body, I want you to ease back where you need to. Now let's take both arms and reach them back as if you're holding onto a big beach ball behind you. And on the exhale, round the spine and give a tree a hug in front of you. Opening up through the chest with a little arch in the back, and on the exhale, we round, pulling those abdominals in. These long arm movements are going to do a wonderful job of lubricating the shoulder joints. One more time in each direction. Now let's bring those arms all the way back down. On the next inhale, let's take the right arm, reach up as high as you can reach, and on the exhale, a gentle side bend. On the inhale, use your trunk muscles here, lift, 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 and on the exhale, bring that arm down along the body. Let's inhale, the left arm up, reaching high, a gentle side bend. Inhale, lift, 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 and on the exhale, lower down. When we reach up alongside the body, that can be a very comfortable way to move through the shoulders compared to maybe a snow angel type arm. Inhaling as we reach up, exhaling with the side bend. Reach, 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 and exhale as you lower. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time on each side. Now let's take both of those arms up to shoulder height, palms down. We're going to do a little empty coat sleeves flow. So we're just going to shake the arms side to side like empty coat sleeves. It's a little bit of a gentle twist for the trunk. Lift up once you inhale, exhale. Inhale the arms up, then let those sleeves wrap around you. One more time on each side. Now let's lower those arms down. Let's take a wider stance with each foot. Bending through the knees here, we want to make sure we can still see our toes down there, so we have a good wide base. Let's inhale the arms up, reach for the sky, and on the exhale, bring those elbows in toward your ribs. On the inhale, we straighten out through the legs, reach for the sky. On the exhale, squatting down. Moonflower flow. Now notice we've got our shoulders stacked right above the hips. So we're really being mindful not to lean forward or back. We want to keep ourselves in good spinal alignment. Starting to build up a little good heat here with these big muscle systems and this flowing movement. One more moonflower. Now let's change it up here. Let's bend through the knees, hinging forward. We want to gather. So we're going to inhale, lift the arms to shoulder height, palms down, and on the exhale, gathering. Inhaling up. Exhaling as we gather. Think about maybe gathering up some fruits and vegetables from the garden with a nice flat back. Three more of these sunflower hinges. Now, let's bend one knee and we're going to lean over in toward that knee for side angle and then come back up to the center. So then we lean over to the other side, coming back to the center. So let's rest our left arm on the thigh, reaching. Inhale back up. This time we rest the right arm on the thigh and reach. Side angle flow. Keeping those abdominals strong here to help maintain balance and support the back. One more time on each side. Now let's lower those arms all the way down, stepping up toward the top of our mats here. Let's inhale the arms up to shoulder height, and on the exhale, swan diving down to a forward fold. On the inhale, let's lift the back to monkey, just resting the hands on our legs, just below the knees, lowering down as we exhale. Inhale with a little bend in the knees as you rise up. Exhaling down, forward fold. Inhaling, lifting to monkey. Exhaling, forward fold, rising as we inhale. Notice we have a little bend in the knees as we fold forward, and we keep that little bend in the knees when we rise back up to support the back. One more time, swan diving down, lifting to monkey. Let's head back to forward fold and then lower one knee down and then the other. And let's stack right up into all fours. The shoulders are over the wrist, hips are over the knees. You can always use a fist here if that's more comfortable. Let's inhale, arching the back for cow. And on the exhale, we curl up into our cat pose. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time, curling up into our cat pose. Now let's come back to a neutral position, looking down at the ground, keeping the abdominals strong. Let's inhale, reaching the left arm forward as the right leg stretches behind us. And on the exhale, we come back to the mat. This time, inhale the right arm forward, left leg behind, and come on back to the mat. Spinal balance flow. The key here is that you're always using one arm and the opposite leg, reaching them out long as you inhale, and then coming back to the mat as you exhale. And we're looking down at the mat the whole time to keep the head in line with the spine. Spinal balance flow. Keeping our abdominals engaged as well to help maintain balance. One more time on each side. Now let's kickstand out the left toes on the diagonal. Let's point through the right leg. Lift that left arm up toward the sky, and if you want, you might also lift that left leg off the ground for kneeling side plank. Take the options you like here. This class is for you. Looking straight ahead into the distance, imagining we're backing the shoulder blades up against a flat surface, and my foot that's in the air is flexed. So I'm stretching out all those muscles behind the leg. One more breath. Now let's rotate back to the mat. This time we'll do it all on the other side. So we kickstand the right toes over on the diagonal, point through the left leg, lifting up through the left arm, and then maybe lifting that left leg for extra balance work. Now when you're ready, come all the way back down to all fours. Let's reach those hips back toward the heels, coming into Balasana, child's pose. And maybe today we'll walk the hands over to one diagonal, stretching out through the trunk. we'll walk the hands back to the center and over to the other side. And then we'll take those hands back to the center. Now on the next inhale, let's shift the whole body forward to a strong kneeling plank. Shoulders over the wrists. Lock in the abdominals and then carefully lower the whole body down to the ground, keeping elbows close to the ribs. On the inhale, let's lift the chest away from the ground for cobra, and then lift the body back into child's pose. Let's try it again. Let's inhale forward, engaging the abdominals, lower with control. Inhale, lifting to cobra. Exhale, coming all the way back. Inhaling forward. Exhale as you lower down. Inhaling to cobra like a snake in the grass, and then coming all the way back. A few more times through. Let's come all the way back to child's pose when you're ready. Taking a few breaths here. Now let's shift forward into an all fours posture once again. Now let's lower the forearms. The elbows should be about shoulders distance apart. Let's palms together. Let's lace the fingers, tucking in the bottom pinky for a flat base, and curl the toes down to the ground. Now let's press the heels back and down, coming into dolphin pose. Engaging the abdominals as we stretch out through the back. Dolphin is a really nice, little more shoulder-friendly version of downward dog. Definitely more wrist-friendly than downward dog if you're guarding those areas. Let's take 3 more breaths. And gently we lower the knees to the ground. We come on back into child's pose, taking a couple breaths here. Now on the next inhale, let's shift forward again to a kneeling plank. Exhaling as we lower down. Inhaling, lifting to cobra. Exhaling, coming all the way back. And then we inhale, shifting forward and stepping up, 1 foot at a time. Little bend in the knees. Let's reverse swan dive with those arms up to shoulder height. And on the exhale, let's sit back into chair pose. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, swan diving down. Stepping one knee down and then the other. Pressing back to child's pose. Inhaling into a kneeling plank. Exhaling as we lower. Inhaling to cobra. Then pressing all the way back to child's pose. Inhaling, shifting forward, step 1 foot up, then the other. Little bend in the knees as we rise. And on the exhale, sit back into chair. Swan diving down. Taking one knee down and then the other, we press back to child's pose. Inhaling forward, kneeling plank. Exhaling as we lower. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, come all the way back. Inhale, shift forward, 1 foot, 2nd foot. Inhale, lifting. Exhaling, sitting back in chair. Let's keep going, just following the breath here. Couple more times through. Last time through, gang. Now let's relax those arms down, rolling those shoulders back. If you have a drink, now is a good time to take a drink. Definitely want to stay hydrated as you move through the practice. So if you're taking a few sips, whenever you're ready, just join us again. Standing nice and tall, hopefully good and fired up through the body. Moving through those sun salutations can really get us warmed up in a good, positive way. So let's take a little neck TLC break here. 2 feet firmly connected on the ground. Remember, it's like we're standing on our own charger of energy, good vibes, peace, and calm. Let's inhale tall, lifting up tall through the crown. Now, on the exhale, let's turn the head to look over one shoulder. On the next inhale, let's look up on a slight diagonal as a bird looks out of its nest. And on the exhale, let's draw a semicircle down toward the chest. And on the inhale, we lift up, looking out of another bird's nest. Exhaling down, inhaling and gently lifting. Now remember, this is meant to be TLC for the neck, but if anything is not feeling comfortable, of course, let's pause altogether or just ease back, whichever feels right for you today. One more of these bird's nest neck stretches on each side. Wonderful. Now let's turn the head back to the center when you're ready. Now, we're going to take our right arm and just reach it around across the lower back. And automatically, that stretches things out in that right shoulder. So this stretch that we have here might be as much as we want today. If you want a little more stretch, you might hold on to your other arm. That's called binding. Some people like to hold on at the wrist as a nice option as well. So think about how you want to use this pose. Just a behind the back, shoulder stretch, really. Let's take 2 more breaths. Now let's release that bind. On the next inhale, inhale that right arm up as high as you can reach, and then bend at the elbow, trying to connect with the shoulders or just get closer to them. And if we want to get a little deeper in the range of motion, maybe we'll add the left hand guiding that elbow a little closer to the midline of the body. And what is that giant part of the body that's going to get in your way of moving that arm too far? You're right, it's your head. Now I don't want you to move your head here. I want you to stay lifted through the crown, and wherever your head gets in the way, let's just stop. Now let's take the left arm down and then the right very gently. Let's reach the left arm across the lower back. You can hold on to your other arm here if you want to. Again, that just gives us a deeper range of motion here. Now let's release that bind. Let's lift the left arm skyward as we inhale, bend at the elbow, and let's reach down toward the shoulders. Maybe we'll add that right arm, guiding this arm a little deeper into the stretch. Now, let's lower the right arm and then the left and roll those shoulders back. Let's bring our left arm across the chest. Oh, hug it in close to the body for half knot pose. So now we're stretching the shoulders in the exact opposite direction here. Still standing tall, firmly planted into the ground beneath us, and engaging our abdominals. Now when you're ready, relax that arm. Let's bring the right arm across the chest, hug it in close to the body. Now let's relax our half knot. Let's bring both hands together at heart center, palms connecting. Let's inhale, standing up tall, engaging our abdominals. And on the exhale, starting just below the belly button, let's begin to twist just the trunk toward either side of the mat. So it starts below the belly button. We feel it going into the side body, the obliques, and maybe on up into the shoulders here. Standing tall, breathing rather than holding our breath. Now when you're ready, gently, gently unwinding back to the center. Let's try the same thing on the other side. Let's inhale, engage the abdominals, lifting up tall. On the exhale, twisting, twisting, trying to keep the hips as forward as is comfortable for us today. Gently, gently come all the way back to the center and relax those arms down, rolling our shoulders back. Now let's move up towards the front of our mat or the top of the mat. The feet should be hips distance apart on the ground, as if you're standing on the outer edges of railroad tracks. So let's start with our left foot here, stepping as far back as we can, with that whole left foot still connecting to the ground. And remember, I like to angle my left toes just slightly over on the diagonal, as if they're pointing towards the 1 on a clock right in front of me. Then we turn the hips to face forward, looking straight ahead into the distance with a soft gaze through the eyes. Warrior 1. And you're welcome to use any hand options you like. I've got hands on hips. You could have cactus arms. You could have prayer pose, maybe hands behind the back if you want to open up through the chest. Anything you like. Keep those abdominals engaged to help with our balance. Let's take 4 more breaths in Warrior 1. Now when we're ready, let's leave the right foot where it is. Gently picking up the left foot, we step back now as if we're standing on one long balance beam. The right toes are still facing forward. We've got a good bend in that right knee. The left foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Shoulders are right above the hips. So we're not reaching forward or too far back, right above the hips. Looking out over that right middle finger here for Warrior 2. Now, if my arms were getting tired, I could certainly keep the hands on the hips and still keep this wonderful opening through the hips, and let the arms relax. So don't be afraid to change things if you need to. That's not cheating, it's just being sensible for what you need today. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Now let's bend the right forearm, resting it on our right thigh, and lean into side angle pose. Now remember, this right arm should ideally just be resting here. All of the power here to stay on the diagonal is in your trunk, and we're locking in those abdominals. Resting the arm like a butterfly resting on a flower. Let's take 2 more breaths. Side angle pose. Now, when you're ready, let's come all the way back to Warrior 2. Relax the arms. Step on up to the top of the mat here. Let's inhale both arms up to shoulder height. Bending through the knees. Let's come on down to forward fold. On the inhale, we lift to monkey with a nice flat back. And on the exhale, back to forward fold. Little bend to the knees as we rise up. And on the exhale, let's sit back into chair. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, swan dive to a forward fold. Inhale, lifting to monkey, strong abdominals 2. Exhaling down. Inhaling and rising up. Exhaling to chair. Couple more times through. Now let's let those arms relax, roll the shoulders back, keeping the chest open, stepping up toward the top of the mat once again. This time we're taking the right foot as far back as we can step. I'm angling my toes out at that slight diagonal, so if I'm looking at a clock where 12 is in front of me, the toes are angling out just at 11. Looking straight ahead, head, shoulders, navel, hips, Everything is facing forward for warrior one. This time I'm going to use prayer pose. Again, use any arm options you like. Two more breaths. Now when you're ready, let's keep the left foot where it is. Pick up that right foot carefully. Standing on that balance beam, we still have a good bend through the left knee. Looking out over the left middle finger. Shoulders are stacked right above the hips. Warrior two. Two more breaths. Now here we're going to gently bend that left forearm, reaching into our side angle. You're going to bend the knee just a little bit more here, and then rotate the shoulders back as if they're against a flat surface. Now let's rise up, relax those arms, stepping all the way up to the top of the mat here. Let's shake those legs out. Whew. All right, so now we're going to use our standing balance pose for our practice. It's going to be warrior three, so we'll be balancing on one leg. It's very similar to if you played hopscotch when you were a child. So warrior three will look a little like this, and we'll go through it together. We're balancing on one leg. You can keep the hands on the hips. The chest is about parallel to the ground. You could also take the arms out to the side like airplane wings, or reach them long in front of you for a long lever, which makes it a little more challenging for balance. Everyone's going to engage the abdominals, whichever option they're choosing. That helps with your balance. Now, if it's not comfortable for you to put all of your balance onto one leg, because maybe you're guarding that hip, you can use both feet flat on the ground, reach the arms down, palms facing forward, and you can use a nice airplane pose here as another nice option. You can straighten the legs as much as is comfortable, engage the abdominals. Your arms are reaching behind you, palms down toward the ground. And that makes it not so challenging on one leg because both feet are there on the ground. So whether you're using airplane or warrior three, that's your choice. If you want to try warrior three, you can join me at the top of your mat. The feet again are hips distance apart. We're going to start off by taking our right toes just slightly behind us. I like to start with hands on hips, and we engage the abdominals. So let's inhale tall, and on the exhale, put a little bend in your supporting knee. That's your left leg. And let's try to bring our chest about parallel to the ground. You can keep the hands on the hips or reach the arms out like airplane wings. Remember to engage the abdominals. Don't let them go on vacation on you. We need them. Breathe rather than holding the breath. When you're ready, gently, gently rise up, shaking out those warrior legs. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. Starting off with the feet hips distance apart. Let's take those left toes slightly behind us. Engage the abdominals. Inhaling. And on the exhale, hinging forward. flexing the foot that's in the air behind you. If your warrior three is starting to wander away on you, hang in there. Let's take 5 more breaths. And then gently, gently we rise. We shake out those warrior legs. Shoo-wee, that's warrior three. Now let's go ahead and lace the fingers down near the upper thighs here. Let's lift the arms to shoulder height and turn the palms outward. Now you can continue to lift these arms up as high as is comfortable for you. This is called upholding heaven stretch. It's actually a wonderful stretch for the shoulders, the wrist. It strengthens our elbows. But of course, we're listening to the body. If something doesn't feel good, we definitely want to ease back. Now when you're ready, let's bring those arms back to shoulder height. Turn the palms over. Relax. Stir up the air beside you with some gentle wrist circles, and then reverse those circles. All right. Now we're going to start to transition our way back down to our mat exercises on the ground here. So what I want you to do is step up toward the top of your mat. Again, the feet are hips distance apart. Let's inhale both arms up to shoulder height, palms down. Let's put a little bend in the knees as we're swan diving down to a forward fold. When we get down here, let's straighten the legs as much as is comfortable for us, feeling that long-legged stretch there. And then let's wrap our arms around the back of the legs if that's comfortable, and let your head hang loose at the end of the spine. Now when you're ready, relax your bind. That's where you were holding on to your hands. Let's take down one knee and then the other. And let's reach those hips back into child's pose again. Stretching out through the spine here. Now, another pose that we're going to try tonight is called puppy pose, and it's a wonderful way to stretch out the shoulders. It's very similar to what we're doing here in child's pose, but a little bit different too. So I just want us to try it. So let's shift forward into an all fours posture. Shoulders over wrist, hips over the knees. I find that it's easy here with flat hands, but I think we could do it with fists as well. We want to engage our abdominals, and the hips are going to stay where they are. They're not going to move, so the hips will stay above the knees. I just want you to just sort of reach your hands further out and let yourself stretch a little deeper through the back and the shoulders. This is called puppy pose. Now let's go from here to thread the needle. So I'm going to take my right arm and just gently lift up a little bit through the trunk. I'm going to reach my right arm through, reaching it as far as is comfortable. You might even turn your head to look under that left arm. getting a nice shoulder stretch here. Now, if it's too deep and you need to take a break, please do. Now let's go to the other side. Let's bring that right arm back. Let's gently take that left arm across. Now when you're ready, bring that left arm back. Let's shift back just for a moment to child's pose. Take a breath or two. And then we're going to shift forward and carefully have a seat here on the mat. Now we're going to have a little fun with balance here. We're going to use our big toe bind. So what we're going to do first is sit down on the mat and kind of rock a little bit in your seat side to side. And you'll feel these bony rods in your skeleton there, and those are called your sitting bones. So we're going to find our balance there. The reason I point that out is we don't want to roll into the lower back. We want to keep it in those bony rods. So let's take our peace fingers, the first two fingers of each hand, and gently reach down and hook on to your big toes. So I've just reached my arms in between the knees, hooked on to the big toes. Now, you don't have to use a toe bind for this. You really could hold on anywhere on the lower leg, even up on the upper legs if you'd like. So we're going to gently take one foot back and then the other, and find your balance on your sitting bones. So lock in those abdominals, have a little fun with it. Now you can stay here with bent knees, or you might try to straighten those legs out, and you don't have to rush. Just have fun with it. Keep the abdominals strong. Be kind to your toes. Let's try not to use too tight a grip. Breathe. Straightening the legs as much as is comfortable, keeping the back in good alignment from the hips to the shoulders. Okay, let's bend the knees and come on back down here. Very nice. So now I want to make sure that I don't forget any of our good stuff here. Let's just take an easy seated posture, whatever that feels like for you. It could be cross legs, it could be butterfly legs. You might even just have long legs out in front of you. Now, let's take both hands down to the side. We're going to start with the right arm here. So I'm going to inhale and lift my right arm straight along the body, and on the exhale, a side bend. Now we're going to stay right here, bending as deeply as is comfortable for us. Now on the inhale, lifting, 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 and we exhale that arm down. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, lifting the left arm as high as you can reach, and then the side bend. I hope this is feeling nice through the side body for you. It's one of my favorite stretches here. Now when you're ready, inhale, lift, 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 and lower that arm down. Now let's rest both hands on our knees here, getting ready for an owl pose. It's a seated twist. So let's inhale, engaging our abdominals. On the exhale, let the hands hover, and we're going to take that right hand over to the left knee, resting it there, and my left hand is resting on the ground behind me. center. Take a nice exhale. Now let's get ready for the other side. Inhaling and engaging those abdominals. On the exhale, we're taking that left hand over to the right knee as we're twisting. Now let's gently, gently come all the way back to the center. Now let's work our way down toward the edge of our mat here, either side. We're going to hold on behind the knees, engaging the abdominals, gently, gently lower down one vertebrae at a time and hug those knees in close to the body. And that's going to do a nice job of releasing the lower back. You might rock the knees here side to side or circle them around if you'd like. And if you're using a circle pattern, let's remember to reverse it. And then bring those knees back in toward the chest. Now let's keep the knees bent and gently lower the feet to the ground, getting ready for bridge pose. We lower both arms down, palms down, just beyond the hips here. On the next inhale, let's gently, gently start to lift up one vertebrae at a time, lifting the hips up toward the sky, keeping the shoulders grounded. Sometimes you might want to get a little deeper through the shoulders, and that's totally up to you. So I might lace my hands underneath me and gently walk the shoulders under to stretch them out a little more deeply. Now, if you're guarding your shoulders, this might not feel very comfortable, so you would not have to use this option if you didn't want to. Now, if you do have your shoulders stacked here, gently lower the shoulders back to the ground, rolling down one vertebrae at a time back to the ground here. Let's walk the feet together so they're side by side, and let's reach the arms out to the side like scarecrow arms. Engaging the abdominals, we'll gently lower both knees together over to one side on the ground. Now, my knees here are not connecting with the ground over to the side, but your knees may be doing so. It doesn't matter if they're connecting or not. What does matter is we want to keep our shoulder blades connected to the mat beneath us. And we just want to twist as far as is comfortable for us today. That's all we have to do. Now let's engage the abdominals, lift those knees upright. Keep the abdominals engaged as you lower the knees over to the other side. This is our gentle spinal twist. Now when you're ready, engage the abdominals, lift those knees upright. You're welcome to extend the legs long to the ground and let the feet fall apart in relaxation, and bring those arms down to just be outside of the hips, palms up toward the sky for a traditional Shavasana pose. Some of you might want to bend the knees if that's more comfortable for the lower back. You could use butterfly wings if you want to use a reclined butterfly here. And of course, you're welcome to sit upright if you'd rather. This is your time at the end of this practice, and you can choose to use it however you like. So let's just take some calm, deep breaths. You're welcome to close your eyes if you'd like as we practice Shavasana. Remember, Shavasana translates to corpse pose, and that's telling us that we should be very still, very quiet, and very peaceful. Laying here or sitting here without any expectations, just enjoying this mindful rest where we choose to be quiet and still in a way that we can balance out all of the physical work we've shared today. Let us begin to gently awaken these bodies from this balancing, mindful rest, inviting some small movements into our fingers and toes to gently wake them, and starting to breathe a little more deeply, filling all parts of this physical body with good, nourishing oxygen, and finding our heart shining with gratitude, grateful for the time that we've set aside for this shared practice, grateful for all of the many ways that we know we can show some TLC for the neck and the shoulders. During any yoga practice, we just need to make maybe some slight changes to get what we need, and that's okay. So our hearts are shining with gratitude for this new knowledge that helps us continue to create the yoga that suits us best. Now, if you're lying down for Shavasana, let's take a moment to bend the knees, hugging them in closer to the chest, and maybe rocking those knees side to side gently. Just massaging the back in a gesture of self-care. And when you're ready, carefully roll the entire body over to one side on the ground as each of us here breathes in the many jewels of our practice. Balance, peace, calm, focus. And we exhale all of the love, all of the kindness that we have for each other, for the world around us, and even for ourselves. And for those lying down with our eyes still closed, let's make our way back up to an easy seated posture. And I invite each one of us to bring the palms together at heart center. Let's start to rub those hands vigorously, warming them. And let's use these warm hands to gently cover our closed eyes. And that amazing heat that we find radiating there. It's inviting our eyes to slowly open, and we bring our hands to rest upon our laps. Thank you so much for joining me today for this mat yoga practice. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Clear minds, kind words, compassionate hearts. Namaste.